Motions, resolutions, and notices.
Assembly Resolution Number 9, introduced by Assemblywoman Kirkpatrick et al., adding Terry Sullivan to the Assembly Wall of Distinction. Whereas the Assembly of the Legislature of the State of Nevada has established an Assembly Wall of Distinction for those past members selected by leadership who served with great distinction and who made exemplary contributions to the State of Nevada. And whereas the Nevada Assembly wishes to add to its Wall of Distinction those past staff members who are selected by leadership to be acknowledged for their exemplary service. And whereas Terry Sullivan was born in Lovelock, Nevada in 1937 and began a career as a stock clerk in the classified service of the state of Nevada in 1960 at the age of 22. And whereas after several promotions, Terry Sullivan was appointed by Governor Michael Callahan as purchasing director in 1972 and continued to serve in that job until 1983. And whereas Terry accomplished many things during his tenure in state service, such as writing the grant for funds to rebuild the former Stewart Indian School, reestablishing the state tradition of the Christmas tree lighting, producing the history of the state capitol building and the governor's mansion in magazine form in 1985, co-producing Nevada, A History of the Silver State in 1987, selecting the first colors for the Great Seal of Nevada, and protecting Nevada's governmental antiquities by having them placed in museums and state institutions. And whereas Terry Sullivan loved rural Nevada and worked to preserve Nevada's traditions and promote the cowboy way through cowpunching and performing his true labor of love at the Cottonwood Ranch in Jarbidge, Nevada. And whereas, after his retirement from state service, the cowboy in Terry wouldn't let him sit still for long, and he joined the Assembly's Sergeant-at-Arms staff in 1995 and was appointed as the Sergeant-at-Arms in 1997. And whereas, during Terry's service as Assembly Sergeant-at-Arms, he worked with Assemblyman John Carpenter to create the Assembly's Cowboy Hall of Fame, began and promoted school tours of the Nevada Legislature, brought the first art exhibition to the Legislative Building with an emphasis on art of Nevada students, and established the Assembly's lunch program, which coincided with the start of the 120-day session. And whereas Terry Sullivan's tenure with the Nevada Assembly lasted 9 regular sessions, 8 of those as Assembly Sergeant-at-Arms. And whereas Nevada owes a great debt of gratitude to Terry Sullivan for 50 years of distinguished service to the state of Nevada. And whereas Mr. Sullivan can take pride for his efforts to maintain the honor, traditions, and decorum of the Assembly and its chamber for 9 legislative sessions, and for being a stalwart steward of the process and a friend and mentor to the many people he met and worked with over the years. Now therefore be it resolved by the Assembly of the State of Nevada that former Assembly Sergeant-at-Arms Terry Sullivan is hereby added to the Assembly Wall of Distinction, and be it further resolved that the Chief Clerk of the Assembly prepare and transmit a copy of this resolution to former Sergeant-at-Arms Terry Sullivan. End of resolution.
Assemblyman Grady.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the Assembly adopt Assembly Resolution Number 9.
Assemblyman Grady has moved for the adoption of Assembly Resolution Number 9. Remarks?
Order of Business 15.
Order of Business 15.
My first thought for Terry is, should this be a roast or a toast? I decided it must be the cowboy way. Next, what would Speaker Emeritus Joe Dini, who selected Terry for Sergeant-at-Arms, post say? Then it came to Assemblyman John Carpenter, Senator Pete Gogachea, or our present Sergeant-at-Arms Robin Bates. What would they say about Terry? The cowboy way would say Terry is a friend, Terry is a father, Terry is a grandfather, Terry is a gentleman, and always Terry is a cowboy. Working for the governor or here in this building, he was always professionalism first. He cares about the state and about the traditions established over the years in the legislature. He was very proud to work with Assemblyman Carpenter, Assemblyman Wendell Williams, Steve Watson, and others on the Cowboy Hall of Fame. Over the years, people lobbied hard to get into this very select fraternity. As he was known, Terry Biscuit Roller Sullivan was proud to be selected to this group. As the resolution states, Terry was born in Lovelock, worked for Governors Michael Callahan and Richard Bryan in various posts before retiring, then for 16 years, serving with the Assembly Sergeant at Arms staff, 14 as the head of that group. Terry's aim and the Cowboy Way was always to serve the legislators and guests in a very professional and non-biased manner. Before introducing dignitaries at the bar of the Assembly, as senators, congressmen, governors, Supreme Court, it was always with the tagline, "From the great state of Nevada." Whether fixing oatmeal for John Carpenter or maybe an egg in the morning for Marcus Conklin, it was always with a smile. Terry loves his time at Jarbridge as a wrangler, a cook, a storyteller, or a guide for the many tourists over the years. Madam Speaker, I could go on about our friend Terry Sullivan, but let me close by saying Nevada and the legislature is a better place today because of Terry Biscuit Roller Sullivan and his Cowboy Way. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Assemblyman Grady. Any further remarks? Assemblyman Horn.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise in support of Assembly Resolution Number 9, Order Business 15.
Order of Business 15.
Hello, Mr. Sullivan. Good to see you here. This is coming from William Trust Me Horn, member of the Hall of Fame. And I want to say that anybody who's ever met Terry, true Nevada, yep. Cowboy, absolutely. But he most importantly, he embodies true gentleman. It's a pleasure.
Assemblyman Orenshaw.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I rise in support of Assembly Resolution Number 9. Order of Business 15.
Order of Business 15.
Terry, I had the privilege of meeting you many years ago, and I can never forget all the kindness you've shown to my family as a second-generation Cowboy Hall of Famer, which I don't think many people can stake claim to. I especially rise in support of this resolution. There was one session when my mother busted her leg and was in a wheelchair, and every day, assembly session, Terry and the other sergeants at arms would lift her wheelchair up to her seat there where my colleague from the Mason Valley is sitting, and let her get into her seat so that she could fulfill her role as representative for Clark County. And that's just one example of the kind of person you are, Terry, and it was a pleasure serving with you, and wherever trails you follow, I hope they'll be happy ones.
Thank you, Assemblyman Orenshaw. Assemblyman Stewart.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise in support of Assembly Resolution 9. I order Business 15.
Order of Business 15.
When I first came into the Assembly, Terry was one of those who welcomed me, and I really appreciated that. And I was honored to be selected for the Cowboy Hall of Fame, and I'll never forget the cowboy saying that always goes along with your selection. It goes like this: never judge a man until you've walked a mile in his boots. That way, you're a mile away from him, and you've still got his boots. Terry is a true son of Nevada and a true example of the Cowboy Way. Thank you very much for all you've done for me, Terry.
Thank you, Assemblyman Stewart. Assemblyman Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise in support of this resolution, Order of Business 15.
Order of Business 15.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Terry, I just wanted to say that you can tell the measure of a person how they treat folks that aren't in power. And when I was an intern in 2009, I was really grateful for all the advice that you gave me and all the help that you gave me. And wanted to tell you that my biggest regret is that I won't be able to be in the Cowboy Hall of Fame. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Assemblyman Anderson. Assemblywoman Darrell Luke.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise in support of Assembly Resolution Number 9. Order of Business 15.
Order of Business 15.
When I was first elected, I met Terry, and I just cannot tell you what a pleasure it was. First of all, to meet somebody who was similar in age, but more importantly, knew how to cook, which were two of the things that I valued. I also noticed right away that not only did he give respect, but everyone respected him. I cannot tell you what a privilege it is to be a member of the Cowboy Hall of Fame, mostly because I knew that Battle Mountain had small fences. So I appreciate the fact that we are all Nevadans and we are here together honoring you today. Thank you for everything you've done.
Thanks, Assemblywoman Don Darrell Loop, and I will just say, for myself, coming into this body, he was the first bright spot that I seen. He walked in, he was pleasant. What can I do to help you? And that means a lot, because it's pretty intimidating walking into this building for your very first time, and to walk in and see Terry first was a sigh of relief, and know that he really was personable. He taught me all about cowboy coffee. I thought I knew everything, but now I know better. So, for me, it was nice having the cowboys come in the morning and just having conversation. And Terry was quick to get here in the morning to make sure that he beat us, and had real conversations about the state as a whole. And I learned a lot about the whole state. With Terry just saying, have you thought about this, and have you ever been out here, or what do you know? And I think he was really instrumental in making me appreciate the state as a whole, because without those days, and trust me, there's some tough days ahead, but there was tough days then, and he just stood in the hallway and said, would you like some coffee? What can I do for you? Because he just wanted to make you feel more comfortable and make your day a little bit easier, whether it was at night, in the morning, throughout the day. He really wanted to make everybody love and appreciate Nevada. And so I personally thank you for your service. I called him and said, hey, I got a big favor. Can you help me out? And he's like, favor? Okay, sure, whatever. And he said, I said, can you be our Hall of Famer for the staff, because we have some great staff in our building, and I really think that what he brought to at least my first session, everybody should experience for the day. So with that, I thank you for the opportunity to have known you and be a part of this building. All those in favor of adopting Assembly Resolution number 9, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The resolution is adopted. Assemblyman Grady.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Under order of business 15.
Order of business 15. And do you have, Terry has a lot of friends, so did you want to do most of them after you do that part?
Please.
Okay.
Thank you. It is my pleasure to present Terry with the resolution that was read and adopted. I can't think of another person that deserves it more. I've known Terry for many years, and I hope for many more. So congratulations.
Do we get to put that right outside the room when we walk in to see that smiling face when the coffee's ready?
Wouldn't it be welcome every morning?
Perfect.
Thank you. Order of business 15.
Order of business 15.
Yes, today is a very unusual day. Not only have we honored Mrs. Sagerbloom, who has strong ties to Elko County. Terry loves Elko County, and today sharing some of Terry's family at the desk here is the Assemblyman from Elko County. So at this time, it's a good day for Elko, and with your permission, I would like to introduce some of the family.
Please.
First, Gwen Barrett.
We could have you all stand, that would be great.
Next, Liz Sullivan Lopez. Next, Julie Sullivan Eichern. These two young ladies are his daughters. And then the important people in Terry's life are his grandchildren, Lita Ikeren, I'm going to get that right yet. Bethy. Mario Lopez. Dominique Lopez, his grandchildren. Please make them feel welcome.
Okay, and at my desk, I have former Speaker Joan Oseguera, who's known Terry Sullivan forever, so if I could have you stand, and David Goldwater, and former Speaker Perkins, who also were instrumental getting to know Mr. Sullivan, so we wanted to make sure you got recognized, so thank you for supporting him. Do we have any other guests? Okay, Assemblyman Grady.
Madam Speaker, we do have a number of Terry's friends and neighbors in the back. If we could ask them to please stand also. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for coming out to visit with us. I want to go to order business 15 because I've had this precious little person sitting next to me, Miss Nora Enos, for a little bit, and I probably have used up her time, so I wanted to go to order business 15 and introduce a couple of the folks. We still have one more proclamation to do, so does anybody have any order of business 15? Assemblyman Healy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I have a very special guest and constituent of mine today who was just actually honored out front of the building by the Trucking Association.